When the silenced begin to speak. My friends, colleagues, and everyone striving for a more humane world. Today, I want to talk about a kind of power that outlasts governments, outlives propaganda, and outshines control. It is the power of the human voice, especially the voices that have been pushed into the shadows. Before we discuss geopolitics or strategy, let me begin with a single human moment. A young woman in Xinjiang once learned her identity through the sound of her grandmother's loom, through patterns passed down like memories, through songs whispered between generations. Today, the loom is quiet. The songs are forbidden, but she still sings them softly in private, because they are the last threads connecting her to who she is. Her story is not unique. It is a window into a deeper truth. Across China's vast geography, millions from ethnic communities, Uyghur, Tibetan, Mongolian, Hui, and many more, carry histories that are older than any modern regime. They carry languages preserved across centuries, traditions shaped by mountains and deserts, and stories that even the most advanced surveillance state cannot fully erase. What the world sees as policy, they feel as separation. What officials call stability, they experience as silence. And silence, when enforced, always reveals fear at the top. Because here is the truth authoritarian systems hope no one will say out loud. When people who have been silenced begin to speak, the shadows of oppression begin to break. No government, no matter how powerful, can imprison every story. History has shown us this again and again. Under apartheid, handwritten testimonies passed quietly from one township to another awakened the nation. In Eastern Europe, suppressed poets and singers reminded people of their dignity long before political walls collapsed. In every case, the regime feared not armies, but voices. China, one of humanity's oldest civilizations, knows the power of stories better than any. Its dynasties rose and fell not because of foreign invaders, but because internal voices could no longer be ignored. And today, the deepest vulnerability of the ruling party is not its economy or its military. It is the truth it fears from its own citizens. The Tibetan monk who remembers the bell that once echoed through his valley. The Mongolian teacher told to set aside her mother tongue. The Hui family practicing their faith under suspicion. These stories are not threats to China. They are the nation's soul trying to breathe. Our responsibility, as people who value freedom, is not to impose a narrative on them, but to make space for their narratives to be heard. Because stories do what force cannot. They cross borders. They bypass censorship. They remind people of who they are and remind governments of who they are meant to serve. So I leave you with one question, one I hope will guide our conversations ahead. What kind of storytelling culture must we build here in our own communities so that truth becomes our first line of defense, not our last resort? If we can answer that, then the voices now in the shadows will find their light. And when they do, they will not only transform their world, they will strengthen ours.